I have recently been sent a pair of Vampliers to review. So these came through the post and they arrived this morning. They do look like extremely good quality pliers, but these have an added twist in that you can remove a lot of damaged screws by using the end of them. These have a serrated edge just like normal pliers, but they also have special serrations in the end there that can grip damaged screws and damaged fasteners, enabling you to get them out. They also have a built-in wire cutter, which is handy if you need to cut any wire. These are also quite cool because you can actually get your name etched onto the side of the pliers, which is a really good feature. It'll stop anybody from borrowing your tools and keeping them. These have an extremely comfortable rubber grip, which feels really good, and they do feel like a really well made pair of pliers. So we're now going to test these out and see exactly how good these are. The manufacturers were good enough to send me a test block, which has got a truss head screw and a round or pan head screw. So we're now going to try and remove these two. We'll start off with the round head or the pan head screw. And we're going to grip that with the pliers and see if we can undo it. And that has gripped that absolutely no problem at all. You can see that it would be impossible to remove that using a screwdriver. We'll now try the truss head screw. This one looks a little bit harder. Again, it has gripped that absolutely no problem at all. So I have to say that these are very useful pliers. I'm now going to put these two screws back in and tighten them as much as I can. I'll now tighten them up using the Vampliers. I'll just make sure these are as tight as I can get them. They are now very tight. So this is a normal pair of pliers. These are 10 pliers, which I normally use when I'm subcontracting on site. There we go, just undone that one. And we've also just undone that one. I'll tighten them both back up. This time I'll try a pair of mole grips. And we've got that no problem using the mole grips. And the same goes for that one. I've actually put 3 self-tappers in this piece of wood now. These are varying lengths and these are all pan heads. I'm now going to try and remove them using the Vampliers. And it's easily removing that one. You can see that that is now coming. The second one is also coming out. Now try the third one. This should be a difficult one because this is about 2 inches long. And as you can see, it is gripping that absolutely no problem at all. I'm now just going to remove each one and I'm going to drive it in a different place in the wood, and then it's completely fair. They have now been driven in to the same depth as they were before. I'm now going to try and remove each one of these using a traditional pair of pliers. Straight away I can't grab that one, that's impossible to grab. I can grab the second one and I can actually remove that. And I'm actually struggling to get hold of that one. So I'll just drive that one back in again. I'll now try the mole grips. And we're not having much luck with the mole grips at all now. So I'll now try it again using the Vampliers. And that does actually grip them incredibly easily. And you can remove that screw absolutely no problem at all using them. Obviously that one is easy because it's only a very short screw and it's got a large head, and the more difficult one at the end here. It's also grabbed that very easily as well. I think you'll agree that these are an excellent addition to any toolbox because they can grip screws that other players can't. So the serrated edges on the end there actually do make it possible to remove a lot of screws that you cannot remove using other pliers. So if you do ever get any screws that are badly damaged like that, you can easily remove them using the Vampliers. I have to say that the test block sent with the pliers, although it demonstrates how to use the Vampliers, it's not actually difficult to remove these two using traditional pliers. Whereas with the wooden block, with the self-tapping screws driven in there, that was much harder. Traditional pliers could not get all three of those out, but the Vampliers did it easily. I am always sceptical when people send me tools to test out, and I do think sometimes that maybe they think that I'll give them a good review regardless of whether or not the tools are any use. I can tell you now that is definitely not the case. If these pliers were not good at what they are supposed to do, there is no way you would have been watching this video. So they are definitely a welcome addition to the toolbox, and they will be most helpful if you ever get a screw that's been badly damaged and you can't remove it using a screwdriver or traditional pliers.